Welcome to the Reddit gang. We present you the dankest content every day. So make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Enjoy the video. Men of Reddit, when was the last time you've cried and why? My marriage was on the verge of collapse when my ex-wife got a job offer in another state. She had been unemployed for some time, so she had to take the job. We decided I should stay behind since I had a steady job and divorce was inevitable. My wife moved out and the kids stayed with me until she got a home in her new city. Taking my kids to the airport and putting them on a plane to move away from me was soul-crushing. I held it together until they boarded. Once they got on the plane, I lost my shit. My kids only lasted a few months with mom before packing up and moving back to live with me. I was tucking in my 7-year-old daughter a couple of months ago, and she told me that she was worried about me dying before her. I'm only 42 and healthy. So I had a conversation about how old I am likely to live and that she will be an adult when I die. Then she said, "But when you do die, will you help me, because I need you so much?" And I lost it. A few weeks ago, when one of my best friends told me he's going to be a dad, I can go for months and months without shedding a single tear, but these news got me really emotional, in the best sense of the word. This has been an eye-opening experience for me, as I had no idea I was capable of feeling such things. A month ago, was yelling at my kids because they were misbehaving and I put them to bed early. Broke down afterwards and cried on the stairs. Knew I didn't have to yell as much and said some unnecessary things. Wife talked with me on the stairs and it turned into a turning point in my life, and I'm doing much better with the discipline. While I held my 4-year-old daughter in my arms and realized there was nothing that I could do to save her from dying from mitochondrial disease. I don't think I had ever cried so hard before or since. 7 years later it still haunts me, but time does make it less painful. A couple days ago in the shower, the song "You Can Let Go Now Daddy" came on. My grandpa had an aneurysm, and my mom sang the songs I shouldn't play on the drive up and let myself unwind in the car and get all of that stuff out. Job stress, feelings toward my ex, the whole gamut. Did me well. About 5 minutes ago, one of my nephews is currently in surgery for something his DRS have never seen in a kid his age before. I just got news from my sister that best case scenario has happened, and they were able to take care of things. He should be out of the OR in half the time as was expected. So, yeah. Crying in relief at my desk at work. Going up to see him in a couple days. It's hard to explain what it means to have kids like him in your life. I'm more emotional than your standard guy. I'll tear up fairly frequently, even at movies and the like. Usually with things involving loss of parents. Last time I would say I actually cried was when I decided it was time to go to a therapist, and in the initial meeting was just offloading all the reasons I decided to come and why I thought I might have a touch of depression. I'm doing much better now. Last time I straight out ugly cried/sobbed was when they put my mother's casket into the vault at the mausoleum, almost 5 years ago now, while hugging the hell out of my brother. A couple days ago in the shower, the song "You Can Let Go Now Daddy" came on. My grandpa had an aneurysm and my mom sang that song to him when they unplugged the machines. It'll always make me cry. My friend and gym partner killed himself on November 5th and I didn't know for a whole week. I was texting him daily things like, "Hey man, where are you at? Are we lifting today? Did I do something wrong? Why aren't you replying? Hey man, if you don't respond to this message, I'm calling the police for a welfare check." And then a friend found a GoFundMe on Facebook. I cried so hard and loud that I heard my roommate approach my door to knock. He heard me through the door, and did a quick about-face to retreat back to his room. Today someone approached me in the gym saying, "Hey man, do you know what happened to Ryan? He was in my class and just stopped showing up one day last semester," and I went full deer in the headlights before straightforwardly answering he killed himself, then returning to my workout to avoid the emotions and awkwardness. I started drinking at 8 a.m. today, so I got that going for me. Just over a year and a half ago, when I was writing up a little letter for my just recent ex-GF, we both decided to go our own ways, but I was scared she would react, so I wrote a letter to let her know that it was just an honest handful of issues I couldn't get past and that I would always cherish what we had. Part of the reason I was crying was knowing full well that I care too much sometimes and am constantly taken advantage of. But there I was, selling my soul up the river to try and give her closure so she wouldn't do anything reckless. Last night, I finally worked up the courage to open up to my dad about my anxiety and depression, and his response was, name one thing you have to be anxious or depressed about. So basically just invalidating all of my feelings. It fucking hurt. Last night, I finally worked up the courage to open up to my dad about my anxiety and depression, and his response was, name one thing you have to be anxious or depressed about. So basically just invalidating all of my feelings. It fucking hurt. Last week when I was reminiscing about my mom, brother and grandmother, just parked the truck and sat there for about 20 minutes just thinking. Sometimes you can't help but get emotional when you're reminded you won't ever see them again. So all you offer have is fond memories of them. This past Saturday afternoon, while at the movies with my wife, watching Little Women, I hadn't read the book, and the story touched me. I cry often. I don't believe that compromises my manhood. I believe it enhances my humanity. I cry when I see other hurting. I cry when I witness beauty. I cry when I feel sadness. Sometimes, I even cry happy or proud tears. Empathy is what enables us to connect with one another more easily. A couple months ago, my dog was hospitalized and I was pretty certain he was going to die. He didn't, so my tears were for nothing, but we had a lengthy conversation about how he is not allowed to ever die and he owes me a lot of money for vet bills. First day of this semester, while I was getting ready in the morning, the weight of new classes, a job, maintaining a social life, and prepping for the future all felt like too much and I just kind of lost it. I think it was healthy though, it was nice catharsis. Having trouble meeting new people after my wife left early last year. Feel pretty lonely sometimes. Last week I got hit with that and cried trying to take care of some stuff around the house. Called some friends and they came over and I felt better, but I don't know how to explain to them that they don't really help with the loneliness I feel. One of the following days after my daughter was born, I was just laying there with her on my chest for a while, and she was so cozy. And then it all just kinda hit me, like holy shit, this little thing is going to one day have opinions and existential questions that are worthy of respect. Really felt my dad instincts kicking in hard right then. Last night, I was working on my PC while listening to music. A song came on that reminds me of my wife who died in 2013. She was 39. It's been several years and my life has settled into a new normal, but sometimes I cry when I think about her. I miss her. I had been having a really rough week and I just got off of work headed home. My GF was at work so I knew I'd go home to an empty house, but she set me up a bath and balloons everywhere written with sweet messages and my favorite drinks. It was so kind and sweet and made me just start crying because she took the time to make me feel better. Last night when I realized it's not just my wife that has zero respect for me, my children are the same. Despite everything I have done for all of them, the sacrifices, the pain, the misery, they don't know and really don't care. About 3 to 4 minutes ago. This unending loneliness is chipping away at my will to live and there's no sign that'll it ever end. I know that it won't, and when my time has come, I'm not inclined to resist it. On the bright side, I have no spouse and or offspring. This wave of bullshit will end when I end. When I was in jail and my parents came to visitation, they brought my younger brother who I hadn't seen in almost a year. He couldn't look me in the eye without breaking down. Since then I've changed my ways, and never looked back. Cried yesterday. A colleague relapsed with opiates after several years of sobriety. He overdosed and died this weekend. When I came to the realization that my dad was never going to be the same again due to his progressing Alzheimer's. He recently began having trouble walking since his motor skills have declined. It hit me when I had to help him up a couple of steps into our house. I kept telling him which legs to move and to hold the handrail, but he just couldn't do it. 27 years ago he was carrying me in his arms up the same steps. To become a real gangster, follow these easy steps. Smash the like button and comment on this video. Subscribe to the Reddit gang and activate the notification bell. Like our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram.